It's a warm, late summer afternoon at Antietam Creek Vineyard. Owner George Warnenhoven is looking forward to harvesting this year's grape crop. And he's asked Joe Fiola, Maryland's leading grape expert, to stop by and take a look.
I always say you can add sugar and add acid, but you can't add flavor.
Okay, yeah.
Joe's no stranger to Antietam Creek. He was out here when George first bought the 60-acre tract of land adjacent to the famous battlefield.
Joe came out and he was very candid and very balanced. And, you know, he let us know the good things about it, some things that were not ideal. You know, we have 55 acres here and we toured the entire property. And he suggested, you know, one or two spots where he said it made the most sense to do your plantings, and that's what we did. We followed that.
Joe Fiola is a viticulture and small fruit specialist who's been instrumental in helping create some of Maryland's finest vineyards.
I've been blessed to be able to do what I do. You know, I get to grow grapes, I get to make wine, I get to work with commercial fruit growers and commercial wineries. I get to make a difference, I hope, in farmers' lives, helping them to make a better living and have a business that's going to succeed.
Joe's headquartered at the Western Maryland Research and Education Center in Keedysville, Maryland. The 490-acre University of Maryland research farm is dedicated to testing which grains, fruits, and vegetables will do best in Maryland's climate. Here, you'll find rows upon rows of experimental crops of corn, wheat, and soybean, alongside orchards and vineyards. For a scientist like Joe, it's a veritable playground.
We're in the middle of the orchard, the research orchard. We have multiple crops. We have the trellised apples there, the hops that you see right here. We have peaches at the top of the hill, a couple of my vineyards, including the big one at the top of the hill there.
Grapes are Joe's passion, and if there's a new variety, or cultivar as it's known, available for research, Joe will want to put it in the field. And while Joe likes to say that the wine starts on the vine, the art of winemaking takes place in his small but fruitfully efficient lab.
Welcome to my processing room. This is the connection between the research I do in the field, where I grow varieties at 7 different locations around the state. Then it comes in here, and this is where I process it, where we turn the grapes into wine. To make a great wine, you have to start with great grapes. To me, it is more than an art than a science, in that I do not manipulate anything, do minimal intrusion to get the grapes, how they're expressed in the field, into the bottle. If you grow Cabernet Franc on the Eastern Shore, here is the wine it will make. Here is your palette that you can start with, and each location, as you know, Western Maryland versus Southern Shore versus Eastern Shore, have different characteristics of the grapes. Therefore, I want to express those and show that what the variety does, its expression in that particular location.
Aside from varieties of grapes that grow best in this region, Maryland growers are up against a host of challenges, including disease and climate.
Maryland has a humid continental climate, and our rain is unpredictable, and our temperatures are usually higher than you would typically like for grapes. So what I typically do is look around the world to Italy and the old world, France, etc., in areas that have similar climate, and we import those varieties, and they're the ones that we're testing throughout the state, and to see if they'll perform the same way here as they do in their native land. And so it's up to me to find out what the critical information is, sort through it, and make it understandable at a commercial grower level.
Joe Fiola has made a career out of helping vintners be successful. Big Cork, one of Maryland's largest vineyards, has Joe on speed dial. They grow an unusually large number of grape varieties, many of them experimental, something owner Dave Collins takes pride in.
Joe, we grow a little bit of Vermentino here. I was wondering how this variety stands on your list of recommended varieties.
Since I've been working with it for over 10 years now, it's moved up to the recommended list, I think, based on the data at the Y and here and what you've been doing in other locations.
Joe loves to keep tabs on these up-and-coming cultivars at Big Cork.
It's a pleasure working with Dave Collins. He's got an amazing site here. He's a premier viticulturalist, and he makes the wine too. So most importantly for me, he's open to trying new varieties.
And Dave Collins will tell you, Joe Fiola has meant a lot to the success of his business.
His depth of knowledge in small fruits, horticulture, across the board, soils, insects, is so deep that I can count on him to give me a good, honest answer that can help our business.
Back at Antietam Creek Vineyards, with the harvest in, it's time to taste the fruits of George's labor. It's an annual invite Joe looks forward to.
Try these, Joe.
Thank you.
So this is our premier white wine. We always do very well with the Chardonnays, probably because of the limestone and the clay. So.
And this is your latest vintage?
What's your reaction? What do you think?
Ripe fruit, nice balance, good acidity, more. I think this one has a little more crisp acidity than your last
Than
vintage.
the others.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, all very good insight. I appreciate all you've done and continue to do.
Thank you, and I'm very happy for your success here and continued, and hopefully you'll keep planting more and making more great wines.
As the vines and wines of Maryland continue to mature and improve, we have to credit the work of one man who has made a difference.
I think without Joe's input, we wouldn't have a viable vineyard, and we probably wouldn't have, the quality wine that we do. I think we're very lucky to have Joe as a resource here in Maryland.
Thanks for watching Maryland Farm and Harvest. We hope you liked the video. Make sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos. To learn more about our show and watch full episodes, check out mpt.org/farm or just click the link in the description.